Hello, fellow Murdlers. Today is Thursday, May 23rd, 2024, and it's a great day to solve murder. Today we have Murder at the Detective Clubhouse, and we have three 4x4 grids with suspects, locations, and weapons. Our red murder clue today is the body was found at the main entrance. So let's go ahead and set our where as the main entrance, and we'll use our clues and evidence in our detective's notebook to figure out who was at the main entrance and how they committed the murder. So let's go ahead and meet our suspects today. We have two of our newer suspects, Agent Fuchsia and Major Red, along with President Amaranth and Deacon Verdigris. The weapons today are a magnifying glass, an antique chess clock, a booby-trapped fedora, and a trained orangutan. And the locations today are the rooftop lookout, the main entrance, which is of course our murder location, the escape room, and the detective kit storage room. Alrighty. So our first clue today is the suspect in the detective kit storage room was born on September 10th. I think that might be Virgo, but I'm not 100% sure. Yes, okay, that looks like it's peak Virgo season. So let's see, so that's what the detective kit storage room. So let's see who our Virgo or Virgos are. We've got Virgo, Aries, Gemini, and Leo. So Agent Fuchsia is our only Virgo, so Agent Fuchsia must have been in the detective kit storage room. President Amaranth was found indoors. Okay, so let's check out our locations. Outdoors, outdoors, indoors, and then the last one is the detective kit storage room, but we know that Agent Fuchsia is there. So President Amaranth must have been in the escape room. The tallest suspect had a weapon made of metal. So let's check out the suspect heights. You have 5'8", 6'2", 5'10", and 5'3". So that's going to be Major Red at 6'2". So now we need to figure out which weapons had metal in them. So you have metal, wood and metal, redacted, and ape stuff. Okay, so I don't think it's going to be redacted. That would be really cruel. And it's definitely not ape stuff. So that leaves either the magnifying glass or the antique clock. So we'll figure out which one that was. Next, we have an either or clue. So either a trained orangutan was in the escape room, or an antique chess clock was in the detective kit storage room. And I think we can probably come back to this, but I think it's basically saying either President Amaranth had the trained orangutan or Agent Fuchsia had the antique clock. So let's see if we find out more about Major Red. That would narrow that down for us. Okay, we have the tallest suspect against us, once again going to be Major Red. Major Red had not been on the rooftop lookout. Okay, so we can go ahead and, oh, here we go. We know Major Red must have been our murderer today. At the main entrance, because if Major Red had not been at the rooftop lookout, that leaves only the main entrance as Major Red's possible location. And that also tells us that Deacon Verdigris was on the rooftop lookout, so we can put that in there. Okay, this fingerprint was found on a booby-trapped fedora, so let's check out the fingerprint. That's going to be Deacon Verdigris. Great, so now we have everything filled out for Deacon Verdigris, the booby-trapped fedora, and the rooftop lookout. Alrighty, the other thing we can do is we can say we know that the trained orangutan was not at the main entrance because we know Major Red had a weapon made of metal. So we can put that in as well. Okay, so now coming back to this either or clue. So if we look, let's look first at the orangutan. So the only possible locations for the orangutan are the escape room, which is the lock, or the detective kit storage room, which is the kind of like the cube shape here. So those are the only two options, and one of these two has to have the orangutan. Let's try to take the inverse of this. Let's try to say the trained orangutan was not in the escape room, so not with President Amaranth. That would mean that Agent Fuchsia had to have the orangutan, and that won't work because that would not permit us to put the antique clock in the detective kit storage room. So let's try that the other way. If the orangutan was in there with President Amaranth, that means that Agent Fuchsia did not have the clock, but Agent Fuchsia could still have the magnifying glass. So that seems to work. So let's go ahead and say the first one is true. President Amaranth had the trained orangutan in the escape room. I feel like there's an episode of Monk about that. It's not an orangutan, it's a chimpanzee, but that's probably like a really, really, really deep cut, but I was just rewatching it, so made me think of it. Okay, so that means Fuchsia did not have the antique clock. So that gives us Major Red's weapon is the antique clock, which solves the puzzle. So we have Major Red with the antique clock at the main entrance. So I'll go ahead and flip those over. And I'm just going to take 3 seconds here and fill out the rest of the grid here. All right, there's everything all filled out. So we have Major Red with an antique chess clock in the main entrance. Let's go ahead and see if we were right. All right, we were right. Thanks so much for playing along with me today. I hope this was a helpful walkthrough, and we'll see you tomorrow.